maybe the autumn international was trying to get to know the new coaches and know the new players. That's not an excuse for maybe our performances there, but now everyone knows exactly what he wants us to do, and it's about going and implementing those plans.
You know, we went through some tough times over the last 18 months, and I think we've worked really hard and, you know, put a lot of stuff out on the table and be very honest with one another and just grafted away. And
For me personally, it was the way the forwards maybe took the game to him a bit. I think Tomas kind of bossed us around a bit, and that's all forwards want, really, a bit of shape, a bit of clarity to know where we're going and what to do, and I think that was the case today, that fellas put in huge performances like Jamie Heaslip.
You know, we ended up defending for a lot of the game, you know, spending a lot of it in our own half, but I think when the opportunities came to score, the boys took them very well.
You know, I think it was Tommy made a savage break up the side, and then a nice little quick reverse pass from Paulie, and then Rog just put me in a hole and away we went, and it was, yeah, just brilliant to get over.
I think our physicality in our defence was spot on. You look at how the forwards played, they got rolling mauls when it's so hard to get them nowadays, and you know, Shabal and Harnordicky didn't really get a look in, and that's their two main go forward players. And then, you know, you get a moment of brilliance from Brian, and that try is one for the collection.
I remember 10 years ago I was able to do that. It's nice at 30 still to be able to, you know, it's nice to remind yourself you still are capable of scoring try. I'm always a work in progress, and it's nice to obviously get on the score sheet.
We know that everything wasn't perfect today, but the days we've lost, not everything was that bad, so it's just a case of keeping an even keel and enjoying the good days and just working our way through the more disappointing ones.
It's been a long 12 months, and I suppose I had a few thoughts to myself early on today. Like this time last year I was in hospital and getting ready for an operation. You couldn't get anything more polar than that. I'm coming on, making a great impact and being able to score tries, so it's great, and being able to, I suppose, finally put away a few demons.
In that second half we played, you know, a combination of territory of both kicking the ball and running at them, and you know, for one of the better defences in the world, I think at times we slowed their line speed, and that was half the battle.
And we knew it was going to come down to that last 20-15 minute period at the end where people are starting to drop on their feet and stuff, and you know, we held out, and that defence at the end I think summed it up, and you know, we did a great job today.
It's all about getting a good start in this campaign, and you take these matches, you know, week in, week out, but we haven't beaten France in an awful long time, and we've had 2 near misses, you know, in the last 2 years, so we've been hurting a fair bit. To get a result like that against a quality team is great for us.
Puts us on a good foot going forward, but you know, we can't get carried away with anything. You know, Italy are coming along, and they're not going to stand down. You know, they're going to bash guys as well. You know,
You take a look at the last 2 results against Italy. Had they got their kicks in Dublin last year, it would have been a draw, and you know, we're very lucky to probably get away with a win up in Ravenhill just before the World Cup. So they will be that much better organised, as they always are in games 2 and 3, because they'll have had that some time together, and it's nothing other than maybe, you know, it's going to be full on show like today again.
Yeah, we're very pleased with our first victory in the Six Nations.
It's nice to come back with a bit of a bang.
The Italians, they're a tough side to break down. I think once you do break them down, that the scores come, and we proved that out today. We just had to be patient.
They play quite similarly to the Argentinians. You know, they're very in your face and have a kind of a hard press defence, which makes them really hard to break down. A lot of our tries probably came from their mistakes. I think that's a testament to them.
And away goes Tommy Bowe. Terrific try.
There were patches obviously we'd be disappointed with, that we lost our continuity and lost our shape a little bit on forced errors and whatnot, but at the same time, what did we score, 39 points or somewhere in the region? I'd take that any time in Rome.
Frustrating to play against. That's what teams want to be. We want to be frustrating to play against as well. You know, there's no one aspires not to be like that. So, you know, they're very tough up front. They work hard for each other, and you know, at times there you saw us making mistakes, but probably we were forced into a few of those mistakes by them.
There was an awful lot of positives to take from the performance. I think we bounced back really well, and I suppose in that difficult phase at the end of the first half where we were down a man, I thought we came together really well as a team, and we held onto the ball very well and took our opportunities.
The French were inclined to defend and give us the outside, and if you get that, then you can make inroads there, and it looks a better spectacle. But when you defend from the outside in, then space is closed off that little bit, and that's what happened today.
on, the pressure comes from Ireland on.
When there's no space, you just have to recycle the ball, be patient, and then wait for the breaks to come.
David Wallace.
Well, I just remember being absolutely knackered on the first one, just delighted to get the ball down in the end and get a bit of respite.
Fitzgerald.
They defended really, really hard.
For his first international try.
Delighted to get over for the first one, and the second one was just a bit of opportunism, I suppose.
Yeah, the scoreline certainly worked out really well for us. You have to take them when they come your way.
Don't get too many intercepts these days. Thankfully, that they gave up the chase nice and early, and I was able to pull off a touch before the line. It's always nice getting on the scoreboard, but the really important thing is that we scored 5 tries out there, and it was about getting as many points out of the Italians as we possibly could.
I think the fact that we stayed at it, we didn't concede a try.
If you're enjoying things, you're in a good frame of mind.
2 out of 2. I can't ask for any more, and I suppose everyone's just looking forward to the English game now and making it a 3 out of 3 and really fighting ourselves way into this championship.
We're in good state, but we keep expectations checked and keep ourselves kind of honest and modest in everything we do.
I think England will be a little bit more aware of the Croke Park factor. It mightn't be so great this time round, and coming off the defeat against Wales yesterday too, they'll be wanting to put that right. So we'll have a tough task on our hands, but should make for a great game.
My fear all the time was that the English were going to be so fresh with the 2 weeks off that they would manage to slow up ball at every single opportunity, and we never seemed to be able to get any bit of quick ball for ourselves to get a little bit of a forward momentum. So it's a real danger for just rolling up the sleeves, staying patient. We managed to do that.
It was pretty tough. The dressing room was like a bit of a morgue afterwards. Everyone was so tired, but I think everyone's just delighted to be on the right side of the result.
England had their backs to the wall, I think, after the last few weeks. We expected them to revert to a very tight forward game and to take us on tight up front, and we set out to do that ourselves then, to really put them through the mill up front.
Against teams like England, people have to realise that you don't beat teams like that in half an hour or 40 minutes. It takes 75, 80 minutes, and that's what we were doing. We were trying to grind them down.
We left a few points behind us. Nobody knows that more than Ronan, but like anybody in golf, some days they just rim out, and I think 2 came off the post. So, we'll have to take a look at our chasers as well then too, because that was probably an opportunity for us maybe to put more pressure on England.
I don't feel angry about it, because they've just told the guys they've cost themselves a chance to win. I feel angry for them. They've let themselves down. They could have won a test match. If you put that huge effort in and you give away 5, 6 silly penalties, plus everything else that happens, you're not going to win.
For us, it wasn't annoying. I mean, we were getting penalties and getting a bit of territory from it. I remember we had a problem with that before, and when you look back at and pull your silly penalties out, there's some penalties you have to give away. There's some penalties are impossible not to give away, and once you pull your silly penalties out of your game, you have a tidy penalty ratio, the same as anyone.
We really dominated them, and we put them to the sword when we had the number advantage.
And that last sin binning really hurt us. If you give away 18 penalties and 2 sin bins, you're probably not going to win.
We didn't get our scores and didn't chip away as we should have.
I think we probably could have gone wide a little bit more often, but I think you look at our try, it came from forward play, even though Brian snuck in and scored.
I suppose I just let all the pack do all the hard yards and soften them up a bit, and then Tomas popped me a ball, and I just felt that I was going to get under Nick Kennedy, and I did. So it wasn't a huge amount to it. I've scored more glamorous ones than that, but they all count.
It was a good day, isn't it? Like any day that you beat England is a good day. But
it was a bit nerve-wracking towards the end, I suppose, probably our own doing. But I suppose credit to them as well. They fought back hard and they fought until the end.
They got that try right at the death, and I suppose things could have been different. But I think we really wanted it that little bit more, and I think we showed it.
We're just delighted. We talked about how special it was going to be if we could leave Croke Park with 2 games against England and have 2 wins, because we believe the Gaelic Athletic Association deserve that much.
It's a great place to be, but it's a long way to go. A lot of people in Limerick would have been saying to me from day one, your toughest game in the tournament is probably going to be Scotland in Murrayfield, and I still have no doubt about that.
When you just take a look at our record against the Scottish teams in Magners League, and we played them there just before the World Cup, and it's going to be another tough affair, because I've never met a soft Scotsman.
Yeah, it's a great place to be, but it's a long way to go.
This team has to perform from every game from now on.
You know, if you're enjoying things, you're in a good frame of mind.
We're in the right direction, we're building momentum.
Where we want to be at, 3 from 3.
It's going to be another tough affair because I've never met a soft Scotsman.
We know how tough it can be to go to Scotland and how hard and physical, particularly when their backs are against the wall. So we will treat them with the exact same respect as we have the previous 3 teams.
I think we're all disappointed in the dressing room. Started very slowly. You know, same as the Italy game. I thought there was more scores in us, but we didn't really go after them like we should have. We held a bit too much like we did in the first half. Played holding rugby, and it was a little bit frustrating.
There is no such thing as an easy game. You have a chance of winning any game, but you have no God-given right to win one, and this wasn't anything that I didn't expect.
We've never had, a landslide win here, never, and certainly not in my recollection. And you always have to grind out for every point that you earn, and 7 points today, we're delighted with that.
Standard play was poor at times, but at other times it was very good. We controlled the game. I don't think they were ever going to score tries against us, and they were quite limited, but we need to come up a gear or two.
We had conceded a lot of penalties, gave up a lot of field position as a result of that, and Scotland took their chances. We were quite a bit down the penalty count after 30 minutes, but we were still only 3 behind at half time.
They were very tough packed, very tough up front. I think they hit the hardest of any team we played in the championship thus far.
We got a sense that if once we held onto the ball and managed to maintain possession and increase the tempo, that weaknesses in their defence would show up.
Well, I never take it for granted, but there is huge self-belief. We were never going to lose that game, and there's massive confidence within the team. We may have been under pressure in the first half, and we were probably a bit sloppy in certain areas, but I think you look around and there's huge composure in key positions, and the bottom line is we weren't going to lose, and I think that belief is starting to spill around the numbers 1 to 15, and that's a big psyche to have gone into any game.
I just remember clocking off for a second, and all of a sudden Tom Evans had it. It was Phil Godman. I think he didn't know there was anyone there, so I kind of caught him by surprise, but if it wasn't me, it would have been someone else.
You only have to look around at some of the players, and how many players have we over 50 caps out there, but possibly close to half the team, and that makes a huge difference when you're out there, and in the tough moments you sort of look to these guys as well. They make you stand up for yourself and sort of make a name for yourself on the big occasion.
Our work rate and our fitness showed in that second half. We ramped it up, and in the end I don't think they could live with the intensity that we brought to the game. Our pack was excellent in the first 20 minutes of that second half, and continued to take it to them. I think 3 or 4 times we must have accumulated 8 or 10 phases, and we picked up penalties and made half breaks, and obviously the bit of magic from Strings and then the great offload to Jamie makes it a little bit easier for yourselves.
I wish I did score a try. I didn't score a try myself.
All good.
Yeah, no, it is. It's. I must say, I talked about it during the week, being a very special place to be in playing in this team, and you do feel left out of it when you're not involved, and it's a special place, and it's a place to be cherished when you do get any bit of an opportunity. So, to be out there from the start of the game today was it meant a hell of a lot.
One of the main things I said today was, leadership was about just taking the onus yourself and through actions. You don't have to say a word, you just have to lead by the way you perform, and I thought people really took that on board.
You never really know in this game where you stand, and you're always being questioned, and today I struck the ball well. Plenty to work on, but from where we've come from, 4 wins out of 4, we have to be realistic, and that's a good place to be.
This week was a dangerous week because people were looking to Wales already. We can happily look to Wales now.
We've made this opportunity for ourselves, so we have to be proud of what we've done so far, but we know that it's a big final and we're looking forward to it.
We've ground out results sometimes when we haven't played fantastically, but we ground them out well, and hopefully we can grind out one more.
Today's one of the good days. Once you play to the end, you never know what's going to come your way in sport. Like, they've had to play to the end on so many occasions, and you have to learn to do that in life. Last Christmas we met, and confidence was a bit low, and we could have just pointed fingers, but nobody pointed a finger. Everybody looked into themselves and they said, right, let's give this a right go.
For all of those, for everyone that's involved, and all the boys that trained, during the Six Nations that don't get the plaudits today. This is all part for them.
This is everybody's team. It's Eddie and Nilo and all that laid the foundations for this. We're the lucky ones. The work that's done in the provinces, the work that's done in our club, but more so I think the schools and youths. The guys who 10, 12, 15 years ago enriched the love of the game in these guys, so that they went through a few hard days and a few disappointing days, but they stuck at it, and if you play to 80 minutes, who knows.
A lot of patience. Drico again. Jeez, what a load of balls to score that try like. That was a massive try.
There's huge belief in this team now, and it's a happy team, and I've loved Munster all my career, and now I really love this team, and it's a special dressing room at the minute.
Brilliant. It was just people showing up for each other all the time. It was brilliant.
We stuck at it away from home. Fantastic support. Half of Ireland were here.
The belief in everyone's faces. You could just see that we were ready.
It's brilliant to play in a green jersey and for everyone to be behind you and to be real proud of it again. And I think the last 18 months have been really, really kind of a black place when we're playing with Ireland. But I think we've kind of taken ownership of the jersey again. And, when you play for Ireland, you just want people to feel that you're doing right by that jersey, that jersey, that jersey.
Today was just about belief.
Brilliant.
It's fantastic. I'm more delighted for the older lads. The guys who've 60 plus caps.
Tell you what, this is a special day. Look at the fans. Class.
I think we had to produce our best game of the tournament to win, and we did that. You can safely say we did that.
Just, it feels incredible to finally be Grand Slam champions. 61 years is a long time to wait. Hopefully we won't have to wait another 61.